Her coming out speech in Hong Kong was just a warm-up. The ex-governor of Alaska has more stuff to say about other countries. But first, on this day in 2008, an exercise in foreign policy turned televised disaster. Frost Nixon had nothing on Palin.
Alaska has a very narrow maritime border between a foreign country, Russia, and on our other side, the land boundary that we have with Canada. It's funny that a comment like that was kind of made to, I don't know, you know.
And so, in our number 2 story, what has Sarah Palin learned in a year? Back from her big money speech to investors in Hong Kong, Ms. Palin perhaps deciding she's getting the hang of this foreign policy thing. Her latest Facebook posting, a note on the Jewish high holidays. But after the perfunctory well wishes, Palin's Facebook writers took the opportunity to weigh in on Iranian President Ahmadinejad's speech to the UN, issuing the standard denunciation of his anti-Semitism. A speech was given at the United Nations General Assembly that was full of hateful anti-Semitic rhetoric. It was a shameful display before a body whose very charter is premised on the need for cooperation and harmony in pursuit of peaceful coexistence between nations. Such talk was especially abhorrent, coming as it did during the Jewish high holidays. The world community must speak with one voice in declaring anti-Semitism and all forms of intolerance and racism utterly unacceptable. There is no place in the community of peace-loving nations for those who traffic in hate or deny the terrible atrocity of the Nazi Holocaust. Words we can all, for once, agree with from Sarah Palin. Joining me now from Anchorage is radio host and Huffington Post contributor Shannon Moore. Good evening, Shannon. This seems like Sarah Palin maybe trying to step into a larger role, delivering a pretty straight boilerplate denunciation of all things Iranian.
Yes, it does. I wish she would maybe speak to some of her supporters who have felt really free to put the Hitler mustache on Obama's pictures at their teabagging rallies. Yeah, she's definitely out there, and I think she's trying to make a big comeback.
And how do you figure the Hong Kong speech fits into that? Was that just, let's go make some money, I'm going to have a lot of tuitions to pay with these kids, and move on from that? Or was there something, did she think there was going to be some political benefit from that?
I think she was trying to get some political benefit. I think whoever's handling her right now was particularly concerned about making those political hits that she made in her hour-and-a-half long speech. I don't know if she thinks that she has to talk longer for that amount of money. I've certainly sat through some of her speeches before, and I can't imagine an hour-and-a-half of it. I really can't.
And the beauty of Facebook and these postings she's done on China, Afghanistan, these kinds of things, and now Iran, is that there's obviously no tricky questions from Katie Couric or anybody like that. Isn't that the safest environment for her to be operating in right now?
Yeah, there's not a lot of gotcha in Facebook, and I know that she has had people post things in opposition to her on Facebook before, and she just defriends them. And so I think that's probably a lot easier than defriending Katie Couric. And, you know, it is a safe place for her to be right now. And frankly, people repost and they comment and they write articles and they report on her Facebook. So it's working for her right now.
And where does she go from here? Are we going to see more paid speeches? And is there going to be any point you see in the remainder of 2009 or 2010 where she takes a question from a reporter?
Well, she's been able to be pretty successful in avoiding reporters to date. I mean, she certainly was able to do that during the election, which would be a really crucial time for people to ask her some pointed questions and see what she's really thinking. And it seems from what she's coming out and talking about, for instance, she's weighing in on Afghanistan right now. You know, all people have to do is, you know, look at what her rhetoric was or what she was saying a couple years ago and know that she's palling around with some chicken hawk neoconservatives right now with the likes of Bill Kristol and Dick Cheney. So, you know, where she's going politically is suspect, but she definitely has a platform still. And
do you know, aware of any plans she might have to get some tutoring in these subjects that she's tends to be kind of weak on?
I don't know. I haven't known Sarah Palin when she was governor or a citizen here in Alaska to really be happy to take advice from anyone. I know that right before she resigned, one phone call she made was to Dick Cheney, the other was to Rudy Giuliani. So if those are the tutors that she's taking right now, then we have a few indicators of what her priorities are and where she's going.
Shannon Moore of the Huffington Post, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Lawrence.